This program is brought to you by generous donations from the community and sponsored by Stifel Financial.
Good evening. I'm Jed Dixon, your host for tonight's episode of Nevada County Now. The month of November is Native American Heritage Month, and we here at Nevada County Media would like to recognize our Native peoples. We want to acknowledge that the lands now called Nevada County are on the unceded territories of the Nisenan and Washoe peoples. In September, the California Heritage Indigenous Research Project, or CHIRP, and the Nevada City Rancheria Nisenan were successful with the purchase of 232 acres of land. This is the site of the John Woolman School and was once part of the Nisenan community and town of Utica. This land purchase will provide an opportunity for the Nisenan tribe to reclaim a piece of their land-based ceremonial and cultural practices, elder housing, and renewal of the tribe's relationship with their ancestral homelands. CHIRP has produced a beautiful video about this topic. It can be found on their YouTube channel. We look forward to covering many stories about their endeavors. But before we get into the top story, the election, we're here to cover a bit more about the red flag warnings and how they are determined and what we can do during one. The National Weather Service has called for a red flag warning today through Thursday. Now, some of you may be wondering why. Well, it's when we have any of a combination of strong winds of 25 miles per hour or more, high temperatures and low humidity levels of 20%, or dry fuels with the possibility of dry lightning strikes. Red flag warnings are put in place to remind people to be vigilant and to hold off doing certain activities. It's important to be prepared during these, as there may be PSPS events, that's public utility power shutoff, in case you didn't know. Have food, water, lighting, and charge batteries that will last for several days. Please also prepare for quick evacuation if needed. Park your vehicle towards the roadway and load your go bag. Know how to open your garage door if the power is unavailable, and be sure you have a full tank of gas. It's helpful to keep your pets nearby and have a plan to transport large animals and livestock. Also, remember to always check towing equipment and eliminate dragging hazards. During red flag days, do not mow or trim dry grass or use equipment that may create a spark. And do not park on dry grass and never burn on a red flag warning day. We know on occasion that it may seem like there isn't a reason for a red flag warning because there may not be wind in your area. It's Nevada County, folks. Just up the road, it may be windy as heck, but our terrain is complicated. Red flag warnings are issued to regions, not neighborhoods. And by working together and doing our part, we can keep our community safe. If you wish to follow what is happening with the weather, we recommend visiting the National Weather Service website at weather.gov. We're going to take a quick sponsor break. Don't go away. There's plenty more of tonight's show.
Thank you to Stifel Financial, proudly helping individuals pursue financial goals, businesses and organizations raise and protect capital, and communities offer higher quality of life. To learn more, visit www.stifel.com.
By now, everyone should be aware of the election results. In this story, we're not going to focus on the presidential, House, Senate, or proposition results. We will be focusing on local results. We'll cover other results and how they pertain to our community at a later date. These are the preliminary results, and we will do a follow-up story once the elections office have certified the numbers. Once again, these are not official, these are preliminary results here. So for the City of Grass Valley City Council, there are 3 seats available for Thomas J. Ivey, Joe Bonamolo, and Janet Arbuckle. Town of Truckee, Town Council, 2 seats available for Courtney Henderson and Lindsay Romack. Not available, they're taking those seats. Nevada County Board of Education, the seat is by Timothy May. And Nevada County Joint Union High School District, Trustee Area 2, 1 seat is Wendy Willoughby. She ran uncontested. In Nevada Joint Union High School District, Trustee Area 3, the seat available, Kelly Clark. And Nevada Joint Union High School District, Trustee Area 4, that seat, Andrew Klein. Grass Valley School District Board, 2 seats for Tricia Dellis and 1 for Debbie Lind. Penn Valley Union Elementary School District, 2 seats for Linda Collins and Yancey Satlin. For Pleasant Ridge Union School District, the 2 seats, Tammy Siller and Eddie Garcia. For the Nevada Irrigation District, Division 3, 1 seat for Brad Fowler. For the Tahoe Forest Hospital District, 2 seats, Robert D. and Alice Wong. And for Truckee Donner Public Utility District, those 3 seats are Jeff Bender, Cristobal Martin, and Dow Costa. Truckee Sanitary District, short term, for 1 seat is Josh Rupert. And for the Truckee Tahoe Airport District, those 3 seats, David Diamond, Greg Horvath, and Bill Greeno. On to the measures. For Measure D, Pleasant Ridge Elementary School District, which is to improve local elementary middle schools, replace leaky roofs, update heating and cooling systems, upgrade kitchens, reconfigure school entrances and exits to improve student safety, and provide emergency evacuation centers, shall Pleasant Ridge Union Elementary School. This comes with strict accountability, independent citizen oversight, audits, and ensures that no funds will be used for administrator salaries or pensions. By the way, that was voted down, voted no. For Measure E, the town of Truckee, this measure is to protect essential services, such as keeping public areas, facilities, and parkways safe, clean and well-maintained, protecting creeks and waterways from pollution, preparing for wildfires and natural disasters, expanding transit services like TART, Connect, and for general government use. This establishes a 1 to 2% sales tax and comes with independent audits. All funds will be locally controlled. That was voted yes. For Measure F, Byers Lane Community Service District, this measure affects a small portion of the community. It was created to fund continued necessary road and culvert maintenance by the BLCSD. It replaced the current tax assessment with an annual assessment tax, and they voted yes. To stay up to date on the results and for further information, visit the county website at the link below. It says there's a link. Now, let's cover something a bit different. Okay, living in Nevada County can be a challenge. We face everything from wildfires and snowstorms to an equally frightening danger, rut season. For those of you who know, well, you know, and for those of you who don't, here's a bit of information for you. Rut is the mating season of certain animals, such as deer. The rut is triggered by a diminishing ratio of daylight to darkness, which causes hormonal changes. And during this time, they exhibit a variety of behaviors to attract mates. And essentially, they're not thinking about much else. Bucks move at high rates and can jump extremely high. They can easily clear a fence. They also only sleep a few hours during the peak of rut and may travel outside of their home range, which means we may see an increase or a decrease in the amount of deer here locally. During rut season, drivers can take steps to avoid deer collisions by being alert, staying focused on the road, especially at dawn and at dusk, and simply slowing down, as we all know. If you see one deer, there's sure to be more. And using your high beams when there's no oncoming traffic will help illuminate the deer's eyes. Just a few tips. If you encounter a situation, remember to not swerve. Swerving can cause you to lose control of your vehicle. Remember to brake lightly but firmly. A collision is not always unavoidable. If you do hit a deer or a deer hits you, pull over the side of the road, if safe, turn on your hazard lights, and call emergency services. Rutting season usually runs October through December, so we've got a good chunk of time here. This is a follow-up story about the courthouse, okay? This is a follow-up story about the courthouse location. The Judicial Council's Court Facilities Advisory Committee, or the JCC, has approved the USDA National Forest Service Office location at 631 Coyote Street in Nevada City as a preferred site for a new courthouse. The design-build phase for a new courthouse, including construction, is estimated to begin in July 2027. A news release says that once it's completed, the new building will provide an accessible, efficient, and modern full-service courthouse. The new facility will also improve security, operational efficiency, and customer service. In addition to the Coyote Street location, the committee also approved the land containing the parcels at the corner of Highway 49 and Cement Hill Road as the alternative site. The Judicial Council must now request approval from the State Public Works Board to proceed. If approved, Council staff will engage in purchase negotiations and coordinate further analysis. We'll continue to monitor the story as it continues.
If you are dining outside at a restaurant and someone is smoking a cigarette or using an electronic smoking device, you are being exposed to secondhand smoke. But what if you're in your own home and a neighbor's smoke is drifting in? Every person should have the right to live in a smoke-free environment to protect their health and the health of their family.
I live in an apartment and my son was coughing more than usual. I realized it was because our neighbor's smoke was affecting him. I tried putting a wet towel under the door and I asked the neighbor to please not smoke inside. He smokes outside sometimes, but the smoke still comes in. I'm really worried about my son's health.
People in our community are facing this problem every day. Often the residents affected live in apartments, condos, or other multi-unit spaces. Many people are unaware that all secondhand smoke is dangerous. This includes smoke from vapes, hookahs, and cannabis too. Take action today to help protect some of our most vulnerable community members from the dangers of secondhand smoke. Let's make living smoke-free an option for all Nevada County residents. Go to smilenevadacounty.com to share your story, get involved, or to find ways to quit. The Nevada County Tobacco Prevention Program is here to help.
A few weeks ago, our political correspondent, Mary Jane Hewengard, sat down with Jan Arbuckle, mayor of Grass Valley. They spoke about Measure B, which previously passed in March. This was a proposition that would increase the sales tax by 0.375%. The tax is intended to support funding for firefighters, wildfire risk, fire safety, and other lawful purposes within Grass Valley. This just went into effect on October 1st. In this highlight, Mary Jane and Jan Arbuckle discuss how this measure helps increase fire protection and how it is beneficial beyond Grass Valley. To watch the full interview, check it out on the Nevada County Media YouTube channel.
So I think this Measure B is a Grass Valley measure, am I correct?
Correct.
Okay, so Grass Valley has its city limits, and fire is a problem across Nevada County, of course. So tell me how this measure will empower the city of Grass Valley in fighting its fires, mitigating its fires, and how is it going to be different from the county? Maybe how are you collaborating with the county on it? Is it the Grass Valley Fire District, or is it one specific fire station? Or tell me that picture.
How that works. How that works. Okay, so Grass Valley has their own fire department. We do. They have, which we also oversee Nevada City's fire department as well. And so yes, we do. They have a joint power authority.
Like the JPA.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm trying to get away from acronyms as much as I can, because so everybody else understands what I'm talking about. But so if there's a big fire, everybody comes anyway. Whether they're the county, whether they're at Placer, when the Everhart Hotel caught fire in downtown Grass Valley, we had people from everywhere. But the quick response that we were able to have prevented downtown from burning up. And that is not an exaggeration. That is directly from the firefighters that were on the scene. Had they were not had immediately the availability and the number of firefighters to put that fire out, it could have taken out downtown Grass Valley. So that's why it was so important that Measure B be passed. So we have that extra funding so that we can hire the additional firefighter, so that we can have 3 firefighters on each engine, as opposed to now we only had 2. So depending upon the type of fire, they sometimes had to wait for another engine to arrive before they could actually safely try to start put out the fire. So that's one of the things that Measure B is going to help with, and which is a win-win for everybody, because we go outside the city limits of Grass Valley, it helps the county as well, anybody in the unincorporated areas as well.
And so if I'm understanding this correctly, with the joint powers agreement with Nevada City, it will also help the citizens of Nevada City?
Absolutely.
Okay.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. I know the sales tax is, actually Nevada City passed a sales tax as well, and the reason we landed on the 3/8% was so that we were the same as Nevada City. I mean, we're so close in proximity that it just makes more sense to have it as uniform as we possibly can. So yes, it will help everybody.
The McCourtney Road Transfer Station has a new 48,000 square foot public receiving area. It opened on September 25th and includes 24 unloading bays. Today, we have David Garcia from Waste Management here to discuss the new additions. Welcome, David. Let us know what's going on in the world of waste management.
Well, first off, David Garcia from Nevada County. I'm the Nevada County Public Works Director. And yeah, the project out at the McCourtney Road Transfer Station is pretty exciting for us. I've been working on that project for a long time, and it took a lot of community partner involvement, waste management, and essentially what we're trying to do out there is address a couple of issues. One is we have a traffic problem, as anybody that's gone to the transfer station recently knows. On certain days, the traffic out there is horrible, and part of the reason for that is because the facility is about 30 years old. Mm-hmm. It's essentially, we've outgrown the original design capacity for that facility. And so this project is designed primarily to address traffic issues, but also we have a new food waste ordinance that's gone into effect in California, SB 1383, which is going to require us to collect food waste from our waste stream. And we don't have a spot to put that out at the transfer station now. So sure. This new project is going to allow us to deal with traffic issues and also to be able to meet state mandates.
So as California grows in their necessities, we kind of have antiquated systems and we have to build up and make sure that we can adapt to it, I suppose. Is that right?
That's exactly right. And we're not the only jurisdiction. I mean, jurisdictions across the state are dealing with the same issues we are. But absolutely, in Nevada County, it's a little bit more challenging because we're, smaller, and we're not connected as well to regional facilities. And so absolutely for us, this project's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it sounds like a very big deal. And we're talking about the physical expanding of the, of the property itself and creating those new bays. What does this do for, I say, like new jobs in the area, new jobs in the county? Would you expect to have more folks out there helping?
So operationally, I don't think it's going to change much.
Okay.
I mean, we're a pretty static operation, yeah. But again, if you're using the facility, you're going to notice a difference. So right now, the biggest bottleneck is we have 2 scales. We have a scale in and a scale out. So everyone's trying to get across that one scale, and that's in a busy month, we have 10,000 people that go to that facility. So we're one of the busiest transfer stations in the state per capita. And so the new projects, we're going to be adding 2 new scale facilities, or 4 new scales, and plus the existing scales that we have now. We're going to be tripling the number of bays that folks can use for that facility. And then operationally, that big 48,000 square foot building, which is about 3 times larger than our existing building, is going to give us the ability to be more operationally efficient. And also over time, again, the current facility is 30 years old. So this new facility is going to have to last us for another 20 or 30 years. And right. So having this big new facility that's essentially just a big open building gives us the ability to make changes, to adapt, and operationally make adaptations as things change at the state level or waste streams change. So another thing that's happened in solid waste is that over time, waste streams change. For example, we don't get a lot of newspapers these days.
No.
But we do get a lot more cardboard. And so in recycling, we're seeing a lot more cardboard, or the composition of plastics or the types of plastics we get has changed. Food waste is going to be a new kind of processing that we have to do. And so as those things change, we have to be able to adapt to those things. And the one thing in solid waste that you can count on is change.
Wonderful. Well, I'm glad to hear that operationally it's not going to change too much. I know myself and a whole lot of folks in Nevada County are creatures of habit. We like to have things the way they were and make them better and move forward. That's about it. So it sounds like y'all are right on board with that.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Absolutely.
Well, is there anything else you want to share with the people?
No, I mean, I guess the last thing I would let people know is that we have a ton of information on mynevadacounty.com, so people can go and get information about the new food waste programs, about our new facility, and then also we have links to Waste Management's websites and resources for a lot of different things. So we're going to encourage folks to go visit our website.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate your time, David, and we appreciate all the information. For more information, go to David. He seems to know what he's talking about. And to learn more about the ongoing renovations at the McCourtney Road Transfer Station, visit McCourtneyTransferStation.com or the Nevada County website at nevadacountyca.gov. For recycling, stay tuned. On Friday, we'll be speaking with Lori Reddy from Waste Management about the ins and outs of getting rid of your trash.
Hi, everyone. I am Lori Reddy, Recycling Education Representative for WM. Most of you recognize WM as your garbage, recycle, and yard waste collector. But sustainability is #1 for our company as we support local cleanup events, waste diversion efforts, and are currently upgrading the county's transfer station to support the organics program. Our businesses and residents of Nevada County are diverting waste at 49% compared to only 32% nationwide. WM is here to educate local businesses and residences that something as simple as not throwing plastic bags into recycle bins and taking them back to the stores, reusing or refusing altogether, is a big step to our sustainable future. None of our residential plastics go overseas. It is 100% recycled within the United States. To keep up to date, visit nevadacounty.wm.com or on Facebook. Together, we'll make a significant impact. Let's create a greener future, one step at a time. I hope to meet you soon.
Despite the change in weather, we are never far away from fire danger. In fact, fire danger increases starting in September as vegetation dries and intense dry winds develop. Fewer fires do not mean less danger. Fires during the fall season do happen, and today we have Paul Cummings, OES Program Manager, to talk to us about the fire conditions during the fall season. Paul, lay it on us.
Good evening, Jed.
Good evening.
So even though it's gotten cooler and the days are getting shorter and we've put away the Halloween decorations, we're still in fire season. So that's what we're trying to remind folks of, to continue to stay ready. In fact, in neighboring counties, not too far from here, those residents are under a red flag warning. And so as many of you remember, that means there's high winds, low humidity, and if a fire were to kick off, it could really develop into a conflagration that could threaten our communities.
Yeah, they really spread quickly, as we know from the past.
For sure. But it may not feel like that, right? Because we're in this shoulder season where
when it gets cold, you feel like, oh, I don't have to worry about that. It's wet, it's cold.
Yeah, exactly. So as we transition from wildfire season to winter weather, we want to make sure residents stay engaged and that they stay ready. So some ways that folks can do that, like you've been doing in our community. We have a really great, really well-prepared community here in Nevada County. Keep your go bag packed. Make sure you're checking in with your neighbors to make sure that they're ready and that they're safe. Tune in to trusted news sources like Nevada County Media. and just make sure that you have a plan and that you have reviewed your plan and that you're ready for whatever may come up.
I know that folks out there are wondering, well, they may be aware, yes, we're currently in a state where it could be dangerous, and there's neighboring counties with red flag. What events are we waiting for to make sure we're not in the all clear, but we're more clear and can take a breath?
Sure,
you know
yeah, great question, Jed. So we won't be out of fire season until we've had consistent wetting rains. So that means usually 5 to 6 inches of rain that happens in a relatively short period of time and soaks the ground. So while we've had some rain, right, and it feels good and we're getting that fall feel, we're still in fire season. So again, it's a little tricky. We have to stay tuned and wait until we hear from CAL FIRE, really, that we've moved out of fire season. One last thing we want residents to think about as we make this transition, folks want to have fires, warming fires, which are great. It's that time of year.
Definitely.
They want to have burn piles. This is the time to maybe do some of that work on your property to clean everything up. Just please be safe when you do that, right? Let's make sure that we're checking the Northern Sierra Air Quality Management District website to see if it's a good burn day. And then go to CAL FIRE. Go to their website, get a burn permit, make sure you're doing it safely.
Wonderful. I think we can all get on board with that. We've been through enough. We want to make sure we are part of the solution and not the problem.
For sure.
Well, Paul, thank you so much for joining us and sharing with us your wisdom. Is there anything else you want to share with the people before we head out?
No, that's it. Hang in there. We've almost made it through fire season.
And we're in it together. Thank you so much, Paul.
Thank you, Jed.
Appreciate your time. Make sure to sign up for and download Code Red. The Code Red app is available for both Apple and Android. We also recommend the Watch Duty app. Both are great ways to stay informed. And please visit nevadacounty.gov.
One of our goals as an agency is to bring that awareness that in our community there's still needs out there for firewood, especially in the senior population, and that as together as a community, we can meet that need.
Each year gets a little harder and a little harder, but just seeing this, I feel like one of the lucky ones.
Sometimes love and friendship can blossom in the most unexpected places. Meet Frank and Vita. Both of their spouses passed away while on our service. They met while volunteering on the Hospice of the Foothills Board of Directors. Their journey wasn't easy, but they found comfort and support from the caring staff at Hospice of the Foothills. Today, Frank and Vita support Hospice of the Foothills through shopping and donating at our local thrift stores. By volunteering and being community ambassadors for our mission to provide compassionate end-of-life care for patients, families, and the community. Hospice of the Foothills, your community nonprofit hospice since 1979.
Hi everyone, I am Lori Reddy, Recycling Education Representative for WM.
Sometimes love and friendship can blossom in the most unexpected places. Meet Frank and Vita. Both of their spouses passed away while on our service. They met while volunteering on the Hospice of the Foothills Board of Directors. Their journey wasn't easy, but they found comfort and support from the caring staff at Hospice of the Foothills. Today, Frank and Vita support Hospice of the Foothills through shopping and donating at our local thrift stores. By volunteering and being community ambassadors for our mission to provide compassionate end-of-life care for patients, families, and the community. Hospice of the Foothills, your community nonprofit hospice since 1979.
The history of video runs deep here in Nevada County. The area is also referred to as, well, it's often referred to, as Video Valley, or the birthplace of video. So it isn't a surprise that our schools have a significant media program. At Nevada Union, the NU Media program is the student news for Nevada Union High School. Within the Nevada Joint Union High School District CTE program, all of the classes and activities in the digital media arts pathway strive to combine media arts education as employable skills. With us today is teacher Carrie Kimball to share a bit about this program. Carrie, welcome.
Thank you.
What would you like to share with us today?
Well, the CTE program is such a great opportunity for students in our county. Those of us who are old enough to remember the old program ROP,
oh, yeah.
Right, where students could get hands-on experience and be able to take away employable skills once they leave high school. And it's still alive and well in Nevada County. All of the Nevada Joint Union High School districts have different pathways. And the one I'm involved in and my students are involved in is the digital media arts. So I definitely feel at home here at Nevada County Media.
Yeah.
But our students are doing amazing things. They're getting experiences both on campus where they're working with professional software and producing graphic design and multimedia products, including, the good old Nevada Union yearbook, which they've been doing for 66 years. But, nowadays it's 224 pages, full color, developed all digitally. And so they're learning how to work with all that media and producing this product on a timeline with, a certain level of quality that's expected. And in order to do it, sometimes they don't think about all the skills that are involved. They're learning, what they call the hard skills and the soft skills and everything that helps these students to be able to get jobs.
Can you break it down a little bit, hard skills versus soft skills?
Absolutely.
And what you teach your students?
So the hard skills would be, the transferable skills that they learn, like graphic design.
Sure.
Or like creating a multimedia, post for including video and sound and all those things. But the soft skills, of course, are our ability to talk to each other, to notice things going on, to figure out what it means, who to talk to ask questions, to filter through the information and evaluate it, and produce something that explains it and communicates it to another person. So any skill, any job could use a student who have those skills.
Yeah, most certainly. I think for any sort of art, there's going to be that level of creativity, certainly. Mm-hmm. And so at a very young age to realize, my art might be able to be made better by someone else's ideas, and to learn that humility along with that collaboration has got to be just amazing. The focus of emotional intelligence in today's corporate landscape, all those things, I imagine you touch on those.
Being able to work in teams is incredibly important. A person isn't just alone working on their own project. And so learning those leadership skills too, and the ability to work with other people and give and receive feedback, all of those things are, I know some adults who could use some work in that.
I think we all probably do.
Right.
Well, that's wonderful. So you're sort of leading that. How long have you been spearheading that at Nevada Union?
Well, I've been at Nevada Union more than 10 years now.
All right.
Working with student media for, I guess it's been about 6 or 7. I've lost count. I don't keep count of how many years. But we have so many opportunities for students who are interested in digital media arts and in other areas too. But this is definitely one thing. Recently, students got to go to a field trip, an overnight field trip in Palo Alto.
Oh, wow.
We drove down and got off the hill and saw some things beyond our own general experiences. We went to Palo Alto High School, and it's one of the top student media programs in the country. And they got to sit in the classroom and observe students doing the same thing that they do, right? Nice. But differently and at a different level. And then we went over to Stanford University, and they were actually taken on a tour of the headquarters for Stanford Daily by the editor-in-chief, which was so exciting.
Yeah.
Just getting a walkthrough of that and seeing what's possible, And then the very next day, we went to kind of a mini convention for student media across Northern and Central California. They were among 500 other students who were there for the NorCal Media Day. So these conventions are really important for these students to be able to go to.
Yeah, very different high school landscape.
Yeah, there's students all over the country who are doing the same thing that they are. So they make those connections. In fact, we have an opportunity in the spring, in April, to go to the national convention in Seattle. And so we're trying to figure out how to make it there now. You know, it's not cheap, but we're trying to figure out how to get those students there, because experiences like that matter so much.
Absolutely.
To our young people.
Yeah.
And we want to see as many of them go as possible.
Wonderful. Well, that sounds like you're creating a whole lot of value for these kids. You know, when I was going to high school, it was maybe you would take a trip with the choir or band, but that's it. There was maybe an AV club, but this sounds like a whole other beast itself. And we're very grateful to have you in the community. And thank you for what you're doing for our youth. Is there anything else you would like to share with the folks before we head on? I
just want to reassure folks that, you know, our young people, they are critical thinkers. They're learning media literacy. I think we're in good hands. We're in good hands in the future, as worried as we might be from time to time. The kids are all right.
I think we're picking up what you're laying down. Thank you so much, Carrie, for your time.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day. All right. Commercial time.
From the foothills of the Sierra Nevada, a new hero will emerge. One who is ready. One who makes sure their friends and family are set. And has the power to go at a moment's notice. This fire season, you're the hero. We are Ready Nevada County.
Local musician David Clouse has quite the story. He's played with some legendary musicians, currently plays in several local bands. He teaches and is even the host of our Toon Talk show here at Nevada County Media. We asked David on today's show to tell us a bit about his local gigs. David, the floor is yours. Wow!
Okay. Well, okay. So
I'm working on a little bit of a jingle for you.
You want to be in a band? We
I'm
need
only a
something
singer.
like that.
David Clouse, everybody, please.
So the gigs. What do we have for shows coming up? We're entering the holiday season, so there's a lot happening. So this Friday night at the Crazy Horse, from 5 to 8 is the Bob Woods Trio. It's total fun. It's just consistently, that's just the word that everybody uses to see it. It's the second Friday of every month, so we'll do it again the second Friday of December, obviously. It's not a trio. There's 7 people on stage. I've seen as many as 9 or 10. I'm not sure where.
This is not one of your bands. This is just a good band that's coming to town.
Well, I'll be playing.
Okay, great.
I'll be playing percussion with them. Yeah. So, no, but yeah, and Bob's one of the top guitarists in town for sure. And this particular show is kind of an institution. I think they've been going for about 20 years. I think he started with Albert Lee, who's Eric Clapton's guitarist. But he's just kept it up and kept it going. Juliette Gorbet is there, a band leader in her own right, a really great Americana vocalist. Some of the best players in town.
Nice. And the date of that is that Crazy Horse?
This Friday.
Friday.
Day after tomorrow.
All right.
5 to 8. So by 8 o'clock you're done. You can go home and
that's a jazz
watch
trio
Netflix.
For you.
Yeah. Well, it's not even jazz. It's kind of it's rock and roll and Americana and some R&B.
I can see the sparkle in your eyes. It's a good time.
It's just a good time.
All right, Bob Woods Trio. What else do we got?
Saturday night, my main band is Achilles Wheel. And we've got a few things happening. On Saturday, there's it's a benefit for KFOK Radio. There'll be 3 bands, full night. I think it starts about 5 in the evening. And I think we end around 10. I think we come on at 7 or 7:30, something like that. So that should be really fun. And then after that, we've got another on November 24th. We've got a benefit for a club called the Green Room in Placerville. In the Sierras, it's one of the marquee clubs, but really in Northern California, I would go that far.
Is the place to be.
They get some amazing bands in there. They're really good, and like a lot of nightclubs, they're still sort of coming out of COVID a little bit.
Right.
Attendance isn't quite what it was before, although more and more by the month it seems like. This summer things really opened up. So we're in a line of a half a dozen bands that are doing a benefit for them over the next 4 to 6 weeks.
And that's with Achilles Wheel.
That's with Achilles Wheel. And then the big show, we're headlining on New Year's Eve.
Oh, wow. Jumping right ahead to the end of December.
In December, and I'll come back. There's more happening. There's a lot going on. And that's at the Miners Foundry. Opening up for us is a band called Vibe Yard. The players have played with Tower of Power, Boss Skaggs, War.
Nice.
I haven't heard them, but obviously they've got good players, so they should be really good. Should be a good show. Probably a sellout. They have tickets on sale.
Play through midnight kind of show?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, well through midnight, I would guess.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long show. And then pulling back next Thursday at Lake of the Pines is Kelly Garmeyer. She's one of the top vocalists in town. We'll be doing jazz, and then again in December. I think December 20th at Lake Wildwood. So it's good to shout out those 2 communities. I don't think they get enough.
No, definitely.
Love.
I do some shows over Lake Wildwood too.
Oh, you do? Yeah. Just great people in those places. And then last but not least, you're in theater. You might know her.
Yes, I am.
You are, I can tell. So Tamara Foyer, do you know her?
Well, I don't believe so, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. So she does a lot of show tunes, and she's a theatrical vocalist, but a lot of jazz as well. So we're playing on December 20th or December 12th. At Miners Foundry, and it's martinis and mistletoe. So there you have it.
Nice.
Yeah, jazz tunes and also Christmas carols.
Nice.
So
if there's folks out there that haven't written all these down as you said them and gone back and filled in the November ones and the slots, is there anywhere they can go to get this information?
That's a tough one. Crazy Horse website, Achilles Wheel website. Yeah.
Fantastic. Now, I was told to maybe give you the runway here and ask, so you're playing with these local bands, you're creating these experiences currently. Have you played with anyone else that's been really interesting in the past? Like, what's your resume? Just very briefly, because it's exciting for us.
Well, yeah, I played professionally, toured around the United States. Got kind of burned out last year. I was on tour, I think 9 or 10 months out of the year. I played with Carole King for a while she was her backup band while she was recording an album. Played with John Lee Hooker up until about a week before he went into prison for heroin. But then he's recovered and done extremely well since then.
That's good.
We had a great conversation when I came back. But the last 8 years it's been here.
Yeah.
I couldn't be happier. It's a remarkable group of musicians in this town, like really high level. And I have no desire to move down to LA or even the Bay Area.
Why would you?
Really
it's Nevada
happy.
County, and it's now.
It's here and it's now.
Thank you so much for stopping by, and let us
bet.
know whatever we can do to boost those numbers and get people to come out and see you. We'd love to help out. We're
Air
so
the
glad
show.
for everything you do.
Yeah, great. Nice meeting you.
Good. Nice
Thank
to meet you as well. Well, folks, that does it for this episode of Nevada County Now. Remember to stay safe, take care of each other, and get out there and explore all this community has to offer.